Hello, welcome to another up close video. So today's one is looking at designer's choice number 15. I cannot believe we're on 15 designer's choices now. That is crazy. And this one is called the Delicate Daisy gift box. So even though it's another 3D one, obviously I've given you some ideas of how to use it just on your cards as well. Either to just make like a matching card to go with the gift box, or just to use the dies in a different way as well. So I've got a gift box already made up to show you exactly what it looks like. I've also got 2 cards and a tag that I made in a sped up video to show you as well. And then at the end of the video I will do a full construction for you too, like running through how many of each panel and whatever that you need to create the box. I have kind of altered it, I think, from what it's supposed to look like, but there are multiple different ways of how you can stick together the tabs around the side. You can either hide them inside, make them a decorative element, stick 2 parts together to make the box more closed, or leave one unstuck to make it more open, but you'll see later what I mean about that too. So this is this month's designer's choice die set. Comes in another one of these lovely, really sturdy cardboard envelopes with a gorgeous pattern on it, and then inside it comes in the plastic sleeve with the 2 holes here, which fits perfectly in the designer's choice A5 storage binder as well, which is this gorgeous duck egg blue kind of a colour. So I'll leave that link down below with this too, so if you're interested you can have a look at the storage folder for them as well. But I think this folder, especially if you've only got 1 or 2 of them, is brilliant for keeping it in, because it's really nice and sturdy, so they're not going to like fall and get squashed or, you know, bent or anything. So this is this month's die set, and it creates the Delicate Daisy gift box. I'll put it on a piece of card so you can see it a little bit better. So the main pieces that create this gift box are these 2 side pieces, and they are different because you need both of them to create the box, and you need 3 of each of these. So there's one that just has this sort of fold line here in this little portion, and this one actually has a slot that cuts out of it, and the other petal from the sort of flower design is designed to go through that slot. So you get a hexagon, which indicates that it is a 6-sided box that this creates, and then the idea is to alternate these sides all the way around, and because it is 6-sided, alternating them would then give these 2 to be opposite each other, and it is the kind of process of having them opposite each other that allows the closure mechanism to work, so that this one would fold up, but this one without the slot will then fold into the slot of the opposite one, and then you do that 3 times around the box, and it gives you the flower on the top, which looks like this. So it gives a really gorgeous box. I really love how this looks, and I decided to try a different kind of colour combination to what I'd usually use, and I think it looks really nice in these kind of autumny colours as well, because it almost looks like a leaf rather than a flower, and it's a really lovely box. And it's really easy to slide in and out. They've really thought about the slot mechanism and stuff, and so you have 3 of these slots that go all the way around, and on the base portion of the box you have decorative tabs. These pieces here can be decorative tabs. If you saw the baskets die sets, the original baskets, I think maybe the second baskets will like it too, but you stuck these 2 tabs together so they protruded outwards and made like a decorative element, which I'll show you in the construction one at the end. But you can also just cut one off and then stick them inside, and you have the decorative elements here, but you don't have to stick this next flap together. I decided to just leave it with just the bottom one stuck, so that you could open this box up wider and fit something bigger inside it. Or looking at it now, I think it would be great for a chocolate orange. I think a chocolate orange would fit in there quite nicely. So, you know, all sorts of stuff you could put inside this. And the hexagon measures 1.5 inches on each of the long sides as well. So from point to point, it's 3 inches. So a pretty decent sized little gift box as well. And then to put it all back together, you can see here I've actually put a flower on one. So if you're going to decorate the top, you can only do this on 1 petal, and you have to do it on one of the petals that has the slot on it for, you know, for it not to interfere. Because if you'd stuck it on this one, you wouldn't then be able to get that through the slot on this side. And then to put it together, I will show you all of this again later, but you just sort of slide the opposite ones through each other, and then the little bar goes through that slot. Sorry if you can hear building noises. And then you do the next one and slot that one through, and you see you've got two of them holding it all together now. You could get to this point and then stuff this full of stuff as well, you know, to help you kind of contain it all in there. And then the final one you can just put through this slot and manoeuvre it around, and then you have the perfect little delicate daisy gift box. And I reckon, I mean, I don't know if this is kind of a bit pointy for a daisy, but I reckon you could easily curve these as well and do a different kind of design too. So I'm sure it's easily modifiable to work for a different kind of flowery design if you wanted to do that as well, which is really nice. So that is what this actual die set makes. I thought I would show you this at the beginning. I don't always show you it at the beginning, but I thought I'm not very good at explaining how this one goes together, and I think I make it sound more complicated than it is if I try and explain it. So I thought I'd just actually show you it at the beginning. So to make it, these are like the main portions to make it, which is included in the die set for you. So I'll put these back on, and then, have I put them in the wrong way? Oh no, there is enough room for that one on that side. Just because that bit's a bit bigger, I wasn't sure whether you could still fit it on there, but you can. Okay, so as well as getting all of the base panels to create the actual box, you also get tons of different ones for decorating as well. You actually get 3 different sets of decorative panels to decorate, plus 2 extra sentiments as well. So you've really got a lot of options with this. You could even do all 3 in one flower as well, because it's 6-sided. You just repeat it all twice, and then it would mean you're running it through your die cutting machine less times, because you'd only need 2 of each of the 3 different decorative panels as well. So you get this gorgeous design. Obviously you get all the mats and layers to go on these, and you actually get the straight-sided matten layer, and you also get the dainty scalloped matten layer as well. So you can either go with a scallop design like I did on this one, I kept everything with the scallop, or the one that I'll show you in the construction, I kept everything with the straight edges. So, or you can mix and match. So lots of different options with that, plus the decorative designs that go inside them. So this one is kind of very curly, and you have the petal design, the sort of middle portion of the box and the bottom of the box, and they all match. Then you also get this gorgeous one, which is kind of continuous. If you, I don't know if you can see on camera, but there's like a line that then follows all the way down, so it's kind of like a continuous pattern, and that's actually the one that I've used on this box as well. So you've got that continuous kind of like stalk of a flower sort of going up the box, which is really nice. And so I'll show you this one up close. It's kind of an off-centre stalk, which is nice as well, and it's got a lot of little swirly designs, kind of branchy designs in it as well, extra little swirls, an extra sort of branch coming off that way, a gorgeous larger swirl down here. So really, really pretty, but as well, spread throughout the rest of the die set, you also have this design too. So I don't know why, but this is just reminding me of like a peacock kind of design, and this one actually has a flat bottom to it. So this is the one that I've used on the one that I'll show you how to construct, and it has a flat bottom on it, so it gives a completely different kind of look. These ones go round the curve of the bottom, but this one actually, the design is flat, so it gives you a different look as well. So you have, that is the top piece, and then you've got this as the next bit down, and then this one as the final piece as well. So I mixed and matched for the one that I'm going to show you how to construct. So that is the bottom panel of it, but I used one of the curlier middle panels as well, and then the top panel as that. So you can really mix and match all the designs and create tons of different like iterations of what they could look like as well. Then, as well as all of those decorative panels, you also have these tiny pieces here that actually decorate these tabs. So this is the idea that if you stick the 2 tabs back to back and they poke outwards, you can actually have them being decorative, and I'll show you that in the construction, because I thought that would be you know, better to show you that way of how you can stick the bottom of the box together like that as well. And you get both like handedness of them, so they'll fit on both sides, which is nice, because sometimes you only get one of them, and then from one angle it looks nice, but from another angle you're like, oh, that none of the backs of them are decorated, so it looks a bit funny. But you get both, which is brilliant. Then, as well as those other decorative panels, you're also getting two that have words in them. So this one says Fun Little Box in quite a bold kind of font on there, and then this one says A Little Something. So did I use that on some of the... Yeah, I did. So on this one I alternated that pattern that I showed before and A Little Something on it as well. So you can either alternate these within the design, you could just use them completely all of the way around, have the same sentiment on all 6 sides of it, or you could even cut this into a piece of card and create a gift tag from it as well. I might actually show you that too, so I might keep that one out so that I can show you that, because that's the sentiment that I've used on the other box. Then you also get a decorative flower with a leaf that you could use on any kind of project. It works really lovely on cards, and I've done a little gift tag as well. And so you get this gorgeous spiral, like ruffly flower, where you cut it out, and then you start with your quill or tweezers at this end, and you roll it all the way up, and then you put a big blob of glue on that circle section, and stick the whole thing down, and you can make a flower out of it. I've got one cut, so I will show you how to do that as well. I'm no expert, because I think it's easier if you use hot glue, but I don't like using hot glue because I always burn myself. So I'm just going to do it with Nuvo Deluxe Adhesive and hope that it stays stuck enough to show you. And then you also get the little leaf that goes with it as well. So you get the outside shape of the leaf and then the interior as well, which is really nice that you get both, because it means you can back them with a solid colour like I've done on here. I've actually kept them a little bit loose from each other, so you've got the intricate leaf on top of the solid leaf, which is really nice. And also with the leaf design, it is smaller, but you could decorate the top of this box with the leaf as well. I mean, maybe even adding like a second, maybe sort of like a poinsettia kind of a thing, where you've got like a second design on top of each of these as well. You might have to fiddle around with it and check that it definitely goes through the slot for the closure mechanism, but I think you could play around with that. And I don't know if anyone else will recognise this kind of design, but if you got the Peekaboo die set that Tonic did, I think it was sometime in 2020, I'll try and link it below if I can find it as well, but that kind of reminds me of the leafy design that's in that Peekaboo die set. So if you did get that, you've then got like a smaller leaf that would go with the larger leaf that you could then use on something else. So not necessarily using it on the Peekaboo die set, but I think any leaf dies are always just nice to have as well. So that is the whole die set, and I'll be back in a second to show you the cards that I've created with it as well. And I'll give you a closer look at the box that I've already done too, and then I'll do the construction. Okay, so here's another look at the actual gift box. I've used a mixture of all different like Craft Perfect cardstocks. I've used the Rustic Rose mirror card for the detailed portions. Then behind that is the Bronze Labyrinth, the like luxury embossed pearlescent kind of a card. And then for the rose on this one, or the little rolled flower, I used the, I think it's called Cosmic Copper pearlescent card, so it's double-sided, so you can actually, oh, it's kind of coming off a little bit there, but it's double-sided, so you can see the copper on both sides of it, which I thought was nice, because I could have used the Bronze Labyrinth, which I did actually do on some of the cards that I'll show you, but then you have the white of the petal on the other side. But if you use the matching kind of colour of just their pearlescent card, you've got the colour on both sides, so it kind of like hides it a little bit. And then for the leaves, so that it wasn't so rustic dusk kind of heavy, I just used the same base colour card that I was using for the box as well. So that is what the actual box looks like. I think it looks really lovely. It's basically flat on the top, the way the mechanism works, although I've added the flower on there. You don't have to add the flower as well. I think a bumblebee or a ladybird would look really nice on the top as well, and it would make it, like, especially a ladybird, I think would give it more of a cartoony look. So you could do this to make it actually look like a daisy, with more like colouring yellow towards the centre and leaving it white on the outside. And then you could do this whole bottom bit like green or something. But I think that would look really nice too. But so that is kind of like the side view of it as well. So you can see how it kind of tapers in. It might give you an idea of what you might want to use this kind of a shaped gift box for. So that is the actual gift box. And then you can probably tell why I picked this colour scheme for the cards, because then it matched the 2 gift boxes that I'd made. So I really like these colours together though. It's kind of like a gorgeous teal with a really deep maroony Merlot kind of a red colour. And so these are the 3 that will be in the sped up video. So I don't often like to do boxes in a sped up video, because I think it would be way more beneficial for you to actually have the construction in real time. But I think cards, you can easily get the gist of what I was doing. So I made this little gift tag, and this is actually using the base of the box to create the hexagon shape, and then I just used a hole punch to do the hole in it. And I've used some of the Tonic's Baker's Twine as well, just to match in that kind of like tealy colour. And then I've done 3 of the little rolled flowers and 3 of the gorgeous leaves in there as well. And you can see what I mean about the sides of the flowers. So this one is done in the Pearlescent card, this one is done in the bronze Labyrinth, and you get the white. I think it still looks nice though, so you can have a mixture of them. I think having a mixture looks really good. But I just thought I'd show you the 2 options of, if you use a luxury embossed card, you'll have the white on the back, but if you use the pearlescent card, you'll have the pearlescent colour on the back because it's double-sided. Then for the sentiment on this, I was actually using, on all of these cards, I was using the Gaming Tiles Alphabet Dies and Typewriter Tiles Alphabet Dies, which I'll try and link below if they're still available. And what I love about the gaming ones in particular are the fall away letters, because I wanted the thanks for this card, but I didn't know what sentiment to put on the tag. But then I was like, well, the thanks is going to fall out of the ones that I use on the card, so then I can just use it on the tag. So these are actually like the waste pieces to use on here as well. So I really like that about these dies. You can do it with the circle ones as well. It's just, I just really love that capital font from the gaming tiles too, but you can definitely do it with these ones as well. So that is the little gift tag that I did. And I've also put some Auburn Pearl Nuvo drops right in the centre of the flowers. That is 3 lots of drops in there, because if you put the first lot in, it sinks to the bottom and leaves a hole. You put the second lot in, it sinks down and leaves a bit of a hole, but then you put the final one on the top and it kind of looks a little bit better. So I thought I'd just show that as well. So that's the gift tag, and you might notice that the gift tag, the white one, was actually made from the aperture that I cut in this card. So I've said before, I cannot remember what video or if I've even edited it yet, but I'm sure I've said before, when we've had a hexagonal or octagonal kind of base for a box, that you could easily create a gorgeous aperture in your card with it. So obviously I had to actually do that and create a little hexagonal aperture, and just create like a really simple card. So it's just the aperture there, putting a few strips of mirror card behind on the maroon coloured card to match the gift box, and then just putting thanks all the way across in those gorgeous gaming tiles with the little debossed numbers in the corner, so it kind of looks like Scrabble. And then 3 more of the little rolled up flowers and 2 of the leaves again, and then some more of the Auburn Pearl drops around, and the same in the centres of the flowers too. And then the final one that I did, I wanted to show how you can just create a gorgeous focal flower element just with those gorgeous petals that are in there. And you might notice the box is 6 petals, but obviously you can just do an 8-petaled one on a card to make it fuller, or even 10 or 12 petals as well would look really lovely. And then I finished the centre with one of the rolled flowers too, and this was, I cut 2 of them. I cut one from the double-sided pearlescent, made the full flower. I don't know if I'll keep it in the video, but you might see me switching backwards and forwards. I was trying a white one in there, the teal one, and you know, all sorts of different combinations to try and find one that I thought worked really nicely. And I ended up cutting another one out of the teal colour, but snipping the some of the length off of it, so that I just had more of like an outside portion. So it brought the 2 colours of the rest of the card, or the rest of the other cards and stuff, into this design, but without having to have like 2 different flowers. You've just got it all in one flower, but you've got the multiple colours in there. And then the bottom of this one, I just finished off with a few strips of card to tie the flower in and tie it in with the rest of the cards that I made in the video. And then I've used the circular tiles, which are the typewriter ones, to do my sentiment on this one. And I've just done hello. So I think, I'm always showing you this, but I think all of Tonic's three-dimensional dies are always brilliant for just making your cards with as well. So I'll be back in 1 second and I will show you the construction of this designer's choice box too. Okay, so I've got all my pieces ready. I've partly decorated quite a few of them to save time. And then the final one, so the way I've just done this one, I showed you earlier which panels that I'd used. And I was just using some of this gorgeous Turquoise something, I think it's called. I'll put it on the screen or link it below. Mirror card, and then some gorgeous blue glitter card. This one actually came out with the Blue Blossom colour trend, and it's kind of like a blue and silver glitter card, but I thought it would go really nicely with this gorgeous metallic. It does make it slightly difficult to see the pattern, but I do quite like the look that it gives, so that's why I went with that one. And then I'm just going to add the rest of these panels on here, and with the decoration, so you can see I've got 3 of the ones without the tab, and then I have 3 with the tab. The ones with the tab I put the words on, and then the ones without the tab I put the decorative panel on, so that they will be alternating all the way around the box, because you need to have the tab and the non-tab alternating around the box. So if you want an alternating pattern, just put all of the same design on the ones without the slot and all the same design on the ones with the slot, and then they'll alternate all the way around. And so I've just got the last one to do, and I'll show you where I've put my adhesive as well, and the way I'm kind of changing it too, because what I was saying earlier about the decorative panels that stick outwards, and you've got that little small set of dies that are the opposites of each other to decorate these little portions. I'm actually going to utilise that on this box, but on the other box that I did really flush straight edges, but on this one I'm going to utilise that bottom portion with the decorative piece on there as well. So the way I'm going to do this is, you saw on the other box I decided not to stick the second level together, and I'm not going to stick the second level together on this one either, just because I quite like the way that it looked. So what I decided to do, instead of cutting all of the tabs off, because I wasn't going to be using them on the next level, I have just cut them off of the one without the slot and left them on the ones with the slot, so that it kind of keeps the box together a little bit nicer, because it's not all completely collapsing in because there's nothing there supporting it, but it's not too cluttered having all of the tabs still on there and not really doing anything. So that's how I've kind of decided to do it. And then adhesive wise, so I've got all 3 of these, and they've actually got no adhesive on. I haven't put any adhesive on these ones that don't have the slot, and I've got the 3 of them. And then the 3 that do have the slot, if I turn them over, I have just put adhesive on the back of each of these small little tabs. Because these alternate around the box, one of these ones will stick to one of these ones, so you only need the tape on one side. And I thought it's less confusing if I just put it all on the ones with the slots, rather than having to put it on the same side of each of the different panels. But you can do it that way as well. I just thought for me it's less confusing to put it on this one. And then for like the adhesive for sticking these tabs to the bottom, instead of putting a tiny little bit of tape on each of these, I decided to do this to the bottom pieces. So this is the professional side is facing down, and this is how I've taped them. So this one I'm going to stick all of these tabs straight to it, because I've got the tape all around the edge, and then this one is going to be the bottom of the box that hides all of the working. So this portion will be inside the box, and then this portion will be the outside bottom of the box. So I'm just going to fold all of these. It shouldn't take too long to do this. I'm going to fold these ones inwards that we've left on here, these top ones, but remember we want to have these as the decorative pieces, so we need to fold them outwards because they're going to stick and protrude outwards, stuck to the other ones. And then the bottom tab we're also folding under. So this is kind of the shape that you're looking for, like that. So we're just going to do that to all of the different panels. it's much easier to do it like this, and then it's all just ready to put together when we take all of the tape off and stuff. And we're folding those ones upwards so that they're going to be the decorative portions. It's a really simple, all Tonic boxes are very kind of straightforward. It's just, with this one I think it's the mechanism, the closing mechanism, and getting the slots and the non-slots in the right places. But they're always pretty easy to put together, Tonic boxes, which is really great. And then this one, we don't have the other tabs to fold backwards, but we do have to fold these ones forward still. So it doesn't take too long to fold all of these. There is also a score line here, but I haven't been folding that. I've just been keeping that as it is. I don't think you need to fold it. I don't see the reason why you would fold it. I guess it's just giving you a guide as to where the slots should come when you've intertwined them into each other. So we just fold these last ones. Then I mean there's multiple different ways that you could do this. You could start sticking all of these together, alternating them, and then put the bottom on, but I decided to just start with the bottom this time. So I'm just going to take the tape off of all of this so that it's all exposed, but you could do it one piece at a time, or if you stuck it onto the bottom of the glue tabs, again you could do it one piece at a time if you'd rather as well. Okay, so I've got all of that sticky exposed, and then I just want to take alternating ones and start sticking them around the edge of this hexagon. So we're just going to line up this cut line to the score line on that small little glue tab. So we've put one there that doesn't have a slot, so now we need one that does have a slot in it to go next. Then we need one that doesn't have a slot. Then one that does have a slot. And then no slot. And then a slot again. Oh, I think I said before that that was going to be the inside of the box, but that's actually the outside of the box. It doesn't matter. I think I just said it the wrong way round before. But now we have that whole net of the box put together. Zoom out again. So you've got that whole hexagonal net of the box put together, and then we've still got some of the adhesive exposed in there, and we're now going to use this one to hide the inside. So I'm just going to take the tape that I've put off on here. You can just use glue as well. I just thought I might as well add some extra tape in there. Oh my goodness. Then I'm going to add a little bit of extra glue as well, because obviously there's no adhesive right on the top of those tabs. So right up to the edge of this, if we add a tiny bit of glue, that should catch those areas then. And then we're just going to place this on the inside, and this kind of, it hides the tape and enabled us to do the bottom that way rather than putting the tape on little tabs, but it also well, it makes the inside look neater, and it also reinforces the bottom of the box because you're sandwiching those tiny little glue tabs in between two pieces of card with lots of adhesive, so it's really going to make that bottom of the box really nice and strong. Okay, so once you've got to this stage where you have all of that put together, we've now got the final bits of sticking to do, which is literally just these little tabs together. So I am going to, I've already put the 3mm tape on here, so I'm going to remove that. I'll just do one to begin with, I think, and I'm going to put glue on there as well because the tape doesn't reach right to the edge, and I want this to be stuck nicely so that it looks nice for the decoration kind of portion of it. So I haven't done this yet, but I'm presuming you just pull this round and stick those two together, so you're just matching them up and then pressing together, so we've now got a piece that sticks out. So you've got that difference. You can do the straight edge, or you can have the little decorative piece that sticks out. So it's a really nice option depending on what kind of box you're going for. And then we can just do the next one and line it up and squeeze it together. And if you were going to be doing this for the next one, you could then go round with the next level and stick all of those ones together too. But I quite like it just being the bottom one, especially because the bottom one has the little panels that you can use to decorate it. So you can see how you've got the mirror card on both sides of this as well. So now I'm just going to do all of the rest of the little tabs. Now I know how it goes together. So there's not too much sticking involved with this box, which is really nice. And we'll just add a little bit of extra glue on these. And then we can stick this bit together. So we're just going to press those two together. And then the next ones, we can fold that little bit of tape back. So it is really a nice simple box to go together, and if you've made any of the baskets, you'll be expert at sticking these kind of tabs together. Oh, and actually I didn't say, but the way on this top portion where we left the tabs on half of them and cut them off of the others, you would do that same thing for the bottom to create the straight side, and then you would just stick the glue tab behind the previous panel just like a normal box. So if you want to do it that way and not have this decorative element, that's how you would do that. So that one, and then the last one. Perfect. So now we have basically the entire box is already assembled. We've literally just got to fold it all together now and make sure these little tabs that we've left on every other of the second level up are just folded inwards, and that will go nicely together. So you just literally pick two opposite ones and slide one of them through the other one and make sure that little bar goes through, and then they latch together. So you just do that all the way around. So you've got the second one done, and then the final one. And there we go. We've got our little Delicate Daisy gift box. You can see actually why you might want to stick that second level, because it's kind of falling inwards a little bit here. But, oh, it's because those little tabs are they're sticking out rather than staying inside. Okay, there we go. Oh no, that one's sticking out as well now. Okay, there we go. So you might want to stick that second level together, but I quite like it just being open so that the box will open a little bit wider. And that is your Delicate Daisy gift box, but we can also decorate it with the flower. So I'm going to show you how to put that flower together as well. So for this one, I did two of the mirror card backing pieces for the leaves, and then the solid base colour from the box for the top portions. And the way I did it on the other one, and I quite like it, I just stuck glue on this bottom portion, and then you tap it off on your hand so it's not too much left on there, and it'll be nice and tacky. And then you can just stick it to the bottom of the leaf, and just tapping that extra glue off really helps it not slide around too much on the shiny mirror card as well. So we can just tap that excess off. And then put that on as well. So we've got our two little leaves that, remember, we want to decorate the top petal that has the slit on it, because the other one has to get back through the slit. So we need to decorate the one that has the slit so that the other one can still go through and you can actually open the box. So we're going to be putting these two leaves on here. So we can put one just there, and then one just there. You can either do it with glue or 3D foam. I think I did 3D foam on that one. And then finally, to create your little flower, I'm sure a lot of you already know how to put these together, and I'm no expert at doing these, but I tend to just like squish them a little bit to make them a little bit more malleable. You can put it on a squishy mat and like run your ball tool around it as well to give it a little curve, but this one's so tiny and delicate I didn't want to break it. Then you can use either tweezers or a quilling tool. I use my tweezers in the video, or I've got my quilling tool here, but it's not quite far enough apart at the top, so I don't know if it'll work. That's why oh no, it will work. Okay, so this is an actual quilling tool, but these kind of tweezers that stay together are really great for this as well, and that's how I did them in the video. But you can just keep twiddling it around. It doesn't matter if it gets a little bit messy as you go, because you can fiddle with it before you glue it, and you can just keep twirling round just to curl it into a flowery kind of a shape, and then you can pull the quilling tool out and you've instantly got that little flower there. And then all you want to do is just fiddle with it and make it however tight or loose that you want it to be. And then if I zoom in a little bit, I don't have to hold it up so close. If you have it like this, you kind of go, oh yeah, that looks nice, I like that as a flower. So what I do is I hold my thumb on top of it, and then you can flick that little tab back at the bottom, and then if you want it to be instantly dry, use hot glue. But if not, you can just use your normal glue as well. And then you can just press that into the glue and hold it until it's taken. It doesn't take too long. And then you've got your gorgeous little rolled up flower. Obviously you can, when it's dry, you can fiddle with it a little bit more and try and make all of the petals curl in a direction you want, or pull them outwards a little bit so it looks a little bit fuller as well. But then you have your little flower just to go on the top of the box as well. So I need a bit more glue now. Oh, you can actually see there, that flower, I've done it a bit looser, this one's a bit tighter. So you can really vary the look of the flower as well, depending on how tightly you coil it around. And then that is how you can finish off the box. If you want to put a flower on it, you don't have to, because it is technically a flower box. But yeah, I really like this month's box, Delicate Daisy. I think it's a really gorgeous one. It almost reminds me of like a fancy pin cushion sort of a shape as well. But I reckon you could turn this into quite a few different things. You could even chop these and maybe put hearts on it and try and make it like, I know it would be a 6-leafed clover, but you could try and do something like that with it as well, so that they're not petal shapes. You can actually add different shapes onto it too. And I think you could really experiment with this and get some different looks out of it. So I hope you enjoyed this up-close video looking at Designer's Choice number 15, which is the Delicate Daisy gift box. And also all of the links to the box, the folder that you can keep the die sets in, and the cardstock and stuff that I've used will be in the description box below the video. I always say in the description box that all of the links are affiliate links, but I don't always say it in the video. So if you do buy anything through my links, I really do appreciate it, because it really helps me out. And thank you to everybody who has used my affiliate links in the past. I really, really, really do appreciate it. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again in the next video. Bye!